this is the Sports Palace heavy weight room, where we've done an awful lot of heavy weightlifting over the last 25 years. And this book, which I wrote in 1989 and published in 1990, I've sold approximately 1,000 copies now. And I'm getting many requests for a videotape to coincide with this manual, and that's exactly what I'm going to be doing here. This will be a videotape more along the clinic line, and I don't have a professional production here. It's a home video setup, and I'm going to give out a lot of excellent and outstanding information for the person who wants to start in Olympic style weightlifting, or if it's someone who already has a level of expertise in weightlifting but wants to review the basics and try a different type of training, or at least you can learn from it to teach other people how to train. And so what I'm going to do is basically go through the manual, demonstrate all the exercises and the lifts in here, as well as go over tidbits about weightlifting and little pointers on how to be a better weightlifter and improve your technique and improve your strength. One thing I did cover in the manual, but I want to cover now, is the warm-ups. Warming up is extremely important. Stretching and flexibility are so important for the Olympic style weightlifter. And so I'm going to show you some various stretching exercises that will benefit you and warm you up for the training. I really believe and strongly believe, especially as I've gotten older, the more importance in stretching for improving your flexibility for the lifts, preventing injury in doing the lifts, and also rehabilitating when you do get aches and pains and strains and injuries. So I'm going to show you some freestanding stretching exercises. First, if I could interlock the fingers, push down. This is good for the wrists and the fingers and forearms. And then over your head, and reach up and back. And stretch from one side to the other side, and back and forth. And then arm circles, a few arm circles. I'm not going to go through a long stretching routine here, just show you some general stretches. Very important to loosen up the shoulders, rotate the shoulders, rotate the head around, twist the body, front twist, side to side. Stretching should be done, very mild and passive. And do a full squat, interlock the fingers again, put your elbows between your knees and kind of push your knees together. Again, the grip in the hands are very important in stretching and warming up. The bottom squat position is very important in warming up. Stand up. One of my favorite stretches is go into a squat, hands out front, hands on hips, lean back, and forward, touch the toes, back up, and repeat. I find that to be an extremely thorough warm-up and stretch. Gets the heart going a little bit as well. Another one. Stretch from side to side. Many people call me and write to me that they have difficulty with their flexibility at the bottom position of the front squat and the snatch and overhead squat. Things like this will enhance your flexibility. Another one of my favorites is a front lunge. Interlock the fingers again. Back over your head, as if in a jerk position, and then kind of go forward, hold, and then reverse, hold, reverse, hold, and so forth. Another good one, the feet wide apart, is upper body rotations, circles, both directions. Now, I've got some of my props over here out of the camera, so if I step out of the camera for a moment, it's just to get some of the apparatus I want to demonstrate with. Now, broom handle is another very important piece of apparatus, equipment that you should use in your weightlifting, especially in the warm-ups. Those of you who may have shoulder problems, you want to start with the broom handle and really twist, rotate these shoulders around, back and forth, and into the squat position. Practice, sit there and rotate, stretch things out. Again, you can twist from side to side. You can do, cleans with the empty bar. Just all kinds of things we can do with a broom handle. Very important piece of equipment. Now, the barbell. The empty bar. Start with the empty bar. And there's another little warm-up routine that I recommend. Take the empty bar, 20 kilos, 45 pounds approximately, and military press front and behind the head a few times. 5 times in front, 5 times in back. Then a few squats, a few back squats. Then some good mornings. Press it up, and front again. Stiff leg, front squat. More front squats. And finish up, stiff leg and deadlift. Like that. Now, what I recommend, 5 back squats, 5 front squats, 5 good mornings, 5 stiff leg and deadlifts, 5 presses in front, 5 presses in back. And also, I really want to stress the importance of the stomach. It's very important, before after you're stretching or before, to maybe do some sit-ups, abdominal crunches, leg raises, side bends and twists with a stick, things like that. It's very important to maintain a strong abdomen. Strong abdomen will give you a strong back or support the back so that you won't have less apt to have an injury. And so don't neglect your stomach and don't neglect your warm-ups. A couple of things I want to go over that I want to touch on now, and I'll deal with them more detail as we get into the program. And that's equipment. There's special weightlifting shoes that are good for your balance in the bottom position and also for squatting. Straps for doing pulls, and a lifting belt support for the low back and doing heavy lifts. On your first 2 programs, I don't like you to use any of these. I want you to develop your training, conditioning, and technique without these. These will come later, but I want you to, this will help you develop your flexibility and your body position and know a little bit more about your body and how it relates to these lifts without a belt, without straps, and without the shoes. Eventually you'll get to those, but I like to hold off. And maybe you won't even need them in your career. Everybody has to have shoes. I mean, you need a good pair of shoes, but the lifting belt has become quite obsolete, and many world-class and Olympic champion lifters don't wear the belt, even for the clean and jerk. Straps are excellent training aid because without the use of straps, your hands get tore up pretty good. But I don't like the beginner to use straps because I want you to develop your grip, develop the calluses on your hand, toughen up the hands, and the only way to do that is go without the straps. Also, the hook grip is something I don't like the beginner to start on. We'll get into the hook grip later on. The hook grip is where you wrap your thumb around the bar and then grab your fingers, and it just gives you a more secure grip. But on the first 2 programs, maybe the first 3 programs, I don't like to get into the hook grip. It's a little bit painful when you're learning it, and I feel that a beginner is going to have enough things to concentrate. So I don't like to give a beginner everything that they should know about weightlifting. I like to start at the very basics and build from there. And so we are now ready for program 1. This is 12 training sessions 3 times a week. 3 times a week is ideal for a person who maybe has a job, maybe has a school or other sports they participate in. I've trained a lot of top lifters, got very, very strong on a 3-day-week program. And 5 reps is what I recommend. These are a good number for a beginner because there's a conditioning factor involved, stretching, and so forth. Stretching, limbering up and learning the flexibility of the movements. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start with the empty bar and show you the hang power snatch. And the way we determine the snatch grip, where we grab the bar, is approximately your elbow. The width of your snatch grip width should be the distance of your elbows, approximately. Maybe a little less, maybe a little more. But this is a good starting point. So the hang, power, snatch. First exercise. Snatch grip. The hang position is with the bar resting in the middle of the thighs, back is flat, your shoulders are slightly over the bar, feet are flat. This is the start position. That's the catch position, and up is the completed position. Back down to the thighs, right in the middle of the thighs, pull it up, catch, and stand. So this is the start, pull, catch, stand. Start, pull, catch, stand. And I'm not going to do endless reps. I'm hoping that you'll run this back and forth and study it. It's very, very important to have the knees, hips, back is flat, knees and hips are bent, and at this angle. I have the camera set at this angle so you can get kind of a 3/4 look at what I'm trying to do rather than a head-on or a straight side shot. But this is the start position for the hang, power, snatch. Now we're going to do the hang, power, clean. From time to time I'll lose my breath, so bear with me. Hang, power, clean. I want to first limber up the wrist a little bit. This is something you may want to do. Even when you've been lifting as long as I have, which is 36 years, 37 actually, and you want to limber the wrists up. And as a snatch grip is your elbow, distance of your elbows, the clean grip is just a little bit outside your shoulders. And on most bars, if you could take a thumb's distance out from the knurling, and always push your thumb around the bar. Don't try to lift thumbless. The hang, power, clean is the same start position, bar on your thighs, knees and bent at the hips, back straight, chest out, looking straight ahead. This is the start position. Pull, catch on the shoulders, and stand up. Start, pull, catch. Stand. Start, pull, catch, stand. Elbows up, bar on the shoulders, or the deltoids and the clavicles. With an empty bar, it's a little bit difficult to, it's not enough weight to rest as it should, but then you get the idea. Start, pull, catch, stand. Hang, power, clean. So the next exercise is the clean deadlift and shrug, and I'm going to find a pair of 5-kilo bumper plates to put the bar at the proper height. I should have had those out before. Five-kilo bumper plates are a very good piece of equipment to invest in for training women, juniors, beginners. Because you can put the bar at the exact height, the regulation height of the normal weights that you'll be using. Okay, now the next exercise is the clean deadlift and shrug. When I teach Olympic style lifting, I like to start from the hang for the snatch and the clean. And then I do deadlifts and pulls from the floor because a lot of beginners will round their back, bend their arms, and rip the bar off the floor. Very common, unbelievably common. It's like that's human nature. Well, so therefore, when we do the clean deadlift and shrug, it's done very slow motion, because I want you to feel the exact positions and get the understanding of squeezing the bar off the floor. So the clean deadlift and shrug, again, thumbs distance out from the bar. Bar touches the shins or, just a hair or two away. Back flat, chest out, arms straight, back straight, looking straight ahead. Squeeze, bar just comes right along the body, just brushes the body up on the toes and shrug the shoulders. And then down under control. So that squeeze, up. So it's very important to learn how the bar comes off the floor. Do not yank the bar off the floor. Squeeze it off the floor. When I tell people, the lifters who have been lifting a long time, very high level, national champion, U.S. record holder, American Olympic team member, sometimes when they get too overexcited or have little problems with their training, one of the most basic flaws is they're pulling too fast off the floor. So I always remind lifters, it's a squeeze to about the knees, an accelerate to the middle of the thighs, and then an explosion. So it's squeeze, accelerate, explode. But for now, you're a beginner, first program, it's slow motion squeeze. One more time, thumbs distance out, feet flat on the floor, back flat, arms straight, chest out, squeeze. Go down and get set each time. Don't bounce. Get set, squeeze. Up on the toes and shrug the shoulders. Squeeze. Up on the toes and shrug the shoulders. Down. Okay. Next we have the push press, and so bear with me while I position the squat racks. Okay, you want to have strong, sturdy squat racks. These squat racks have seen incredible amounts of weights handled in the squat and the jerk from the likes of Bruce Wellhome, Ken Patera, Mario Martinez, Ken Clark, and others. Okay. Now, squat racks, you want them to be low enough so that you can take the bar off the rack when you step back and you're not banging the rack. Let me just demonstrate. The height should be so you can stand up, don't touch the racks, and you step back. When you bring it back to the racks, you can just set it like this, and you have the tall end of the rack should be high enough so that you won't walk over or beyond. Okay, so the push press. Now you have the military press, but I don't want to demonstrate the military press right now. The push press. Don't want to confuse. I want to go right through the program. I have accessory exercises that I will demonstrate in a later part of this tape. But right now I'm going to go program by program. Okay. For the push press, take thumbs distance out. I'm going to demonstrate the push press without the weight first. Bar is going to be on the shoulders, standing straight. Dip the legs, and then push with the legs and the arms at the same time. Dip, drive, push. Dip, drive, push. There's no rebending of the legs. Don't even come off the floor with your heels initially. Just the push, press. Shoulder width grip. Step back from the rack. Body is erect. Elbows up, bars on the shoulders and the clavicles. Dip, drive, push. Dip, drive, push. Dip, drive, push. about catching the bar when you bring it down. A lot of people, beginners, they bring the bar down and they bend the knees and then they push it right back up. You know, when you bring it down there, you're going to catch it with the bent knees, stand up and get set. Get set for each rep. When doing your weightlifting, get set for every single rep. Don't try to rush it. Don't try to catch anything on the bounce or the rebound. That's later on. But right now, every rep is its own rep. I want it done very deliberately. So let me demonstrate the push press again. Approximately shoulder width grip. Thumb around the bar. Rotate underneath. Bars on your shoulders and clavicles. Step back from the rack. Step back about a foot or two. Feet shoulder width apart. Hip, drive, push. Hip, drive, push. Hip, drive, push. And then you catch it like this. Have the legs absorb some of the weight. Then get set. Dip, drive, push. Catch. Set. Dip, drive, push. Catch. Back on the rack. Okay. I'm having a good workout. This is only 30 kilos. Bar's 20. Extra 5 is 30 kilos, but this is just for demonstration purposes. But still, talking and lifting, takes its toll. The next exercise is the front squat. And for the front squat, I have to find some more apparatus, 2x4s and 1x4s. Okay, for beginners, quite often I start them doing all squatting movements with their heels on a 2x4. And this brings up something that I may have neglected initially, is talk about the hand spacing, but we didn't talk about the foot spacing. Generally, your feet should be about hip width when you are pulling off the floor. As you're doing, and again with beginners, it's another important point, I don't want the feet to be jumping out. It's a very common thing to jump out when you're doing your snatches and your cleans. Jump out. No, I don't want you to do that, because if you do that too early in your career, or when you're first starting off, you won't. It's just a bad habit where you'll jump too wide. That's a strain on your groin area, strain on your knee area. Eventually, when you become an accomplished lifter, by about the third program or so, the feet will just jump out just a little bit, But for the first two programs, I don't want the feet to jump out. And so you got your feet about hip width, and so you're doing your lifts with the feet staying in that place. You can come up on your toes, but don't jump the feet out. Don't jump the feet out. However, when you squat, we want to squat shoulder width. I'm speaking generally now. These are just rules of thumb, but might be variance, a half inch either way. But you want to have a good foot base, a good foot position. So for the front squat, for a beginner, because beginners are not flexible in the ankles, the knees, the hips, the elbows, the wrists, the shoulders. There may be some of you that are, but generally, we start with the heels on the 2x4, so that the person can maintain an upright position. Okay, so take the bar on the shoulders, step back from the rack, heels on the 2x4, feet are a little wider now, and squat down and back up, down and up, keeping the elbows up, back, straight, looking straight ahead, straight up, straight down, back in the rack. And I also like to always have the racks in front of you. Don't back into the racks. Walk into the racks so you can see where the racks are. Breathing is another thing. When you're starting off, just breathe normal. Don't worry about breathing. We'll get into breathing techniques a little later. Okay, now, let's say you've accomplished after, it might take a month, might take 2 months before you can squat without the board. One little test I do with people when I first turn them off to see whether they're, how long they can be on the board or whether they even need the board, is I say, put your hands behind your head and squat down, flat-footed, and hold that position for a while. If you can do that, maybe you don't need the board, but still I would start off with the board initially just for training purposes and braking purposes. And this also reminds me of a good stretching exercise for beginners and all lifters is hands behind your head, squat position, push your elbows back, and wearing regular all-purpose cross-training type sneaker shoe. And this will help your flexibility. So after, let's say a person is real comfortable with the 2x4, then we go to the 1x4. I'm just going to do a few squats on this because I want you to check the form again. The grip. And you rotate under the barbell. Elbows are out in front, shoulders are up. Step back. Heels are on the one by, shoulder width. Elbows up, looking straight ahead. Squat down, chest up. Don't pause in the bottom, just go down as far as is comfortable. Like that. Elbows up. Always keep the elbows up. Now, before I'm going to show, I'm going to demonstrate one more time with the flat-footed without any board. But this brings up another point. Knee wraps, wrist wraps, and so forth. Again, I don't like to use them, but I like to go without them as much as possible. Maybe later on in your career you'll need them. If you need them, if you feel you got to have them, fine, okay. But I like to start a beginner off in, baggy pair of sweats or shorts. But the reason I like sweats is you'll beat your thighs up a little bit. T-shirt, loose or something. Depending on your climate, you have to dress according to your climate. But clothing that allows you plenty of room to move. Okay, now here's a lot of people have a problem doing the front squat. The elbows are down, the back is rounded. It's really difficult. They have a hard time learning how to rack. So here's a little technique I teach in teaching the front squat. I tell people to reach out as far as you can. That gets the shoulders forward. And then bring the hands back. And there you have a shelf to rack the weight on. It's going to take a while. But you've got to get, a lot of people, the beginners, they're like this. And they don't bring, they're just down like this. You've got to bring the shoulders forward. Shoulders forward and the elbows up and fingertip on just outside your deltoids. So I tell people, the hard people have a difficult time, reach up, practice that, then bring your hands back. Reach up, bring your hands back. Then, say, okay, now you grab the bar, and you can pull yourself back from the bar so you get your shoulders forward, almost like you take a running start at it. And then you pull yourself underneath the bar with your shoulders out in front, as much as you can. And I must say, the front squat is an uncomfortable exercise. Your wrists, you're thinking your wrists are going to just want to break, but they won't, because you're stretching. So you have the bar comfortably here on my shoulders. Squat down, down, nice and deep, all the way down, straight up and down, back in the rack. But yeah, after all this stuff that we've done, you'll find that maybe your hang power snatches went well, hang power clean is pretty good, clean deadlift, push presses went pretty good. But now here, usually the beginner starts running out of gas on the overhead squat. The wrists are sore. Don't worry about it. Be patient. Don't push the weights. Train with light weights. Train with technique. Form, technique, conditioning. This is what we're after on this in program 1. Okay, now the next exercise. Just want to make sure, even though I wrote the book, I got to make sure I'm on the right page. That's another thing. Be on the right page of your workout book. Otherwise, you know, you can go be trying a program, you have an exercise or a program that you haven't done, and weights out of program out of order, or it could be going back to a program you've already done. So always make sure you're on the right page of your program. The next exercise is the overhead squat. And I bring out the 2x4 again. Maybe a person can do a front squat without any boards for elevation for the heels, but very few people, very few people can do an overhead squat without the board initially. What happens, let me just demonstrate the overhead squat. The snatch grip, and so you have to adjust, you have to have your racks at the right height again, and at the right spacing so that you can grab and won't be smashing your fingers. Okay, so I get the snatch grip, but I can't grab the bar because the racks are in the way, so I just grab it loosely, get underneath, stand up. Now I grab the bar, proper grip. My feet are shoulder width apart on the 2x4. I push press the weight overhead, looking straight ahead, concentrating. This one requires concentration now. They all do, this one especially. And all the way down, all the way up, down, and up. And very few people can go that way in the first program, first few weeks. And we finish. Catch it, bending the knees to absorb the shock. Bring the grip, bring your hands in out of the way so you won't smack them on the racks. And a lot of people, it's okay when you start this exercise, maybe you want to go down a little bit. That's fine, just a little bit is fine for beginning. But if you can't go down, you want to go down as far as you can, but two common mistakes that happen in doing the overhead squat is the bar will come forward because the shoulders aren't flexible enough to rotate back. People, they don't understand the concept of the snatches. Reach up, reach up. So they kind of relax and bar comes forward and arms back. They learn through this exercise, and that when you're doing snatches, the bar has to be locked up. You got to be reaching up. The bar has to be back over your ears. So we do the same procedure. After a person becomes comfortable going all the way down with the 2x4, then we go to the 1x4. And I'm trying to demonstrate these exercises enough so that you can really get a thorough understanding of the lifts, and so I can, as I'm doing them, I can explain different little things to you about the lifts. Okay, so we'll go to 1x4, overhead squat, step back, heels are on the 1x4, feet shoulder width apart, push press the weight overhead, snatch grip of course. Now as I reach up and let the bar go back, I squat down very slowly. See, that's a good point, squat down slowly so you can get the feel for it. Squat down slowly and deliberately. You can even kind of sit here for a few seconds if you like, and then back up. And now I'll demonstrate one more time. And generally the first, you'll get the front squat under control before you get the overhead squat under control. It just takes a while. You've got to have confidence in the bar being where you feel confident that it is and you can control it. A lot of people they're so concerned because they can't see the bar. Okay, so I'm going to show you another little technique once you kind of get fairly good at the overhead squat. You can also do this when you get to the squat snatch part of the program. You can also do this technique. But this is when you get to the bottom position, we're going to stop and look around. So let me just demonstrate. Get my snatch grip, bar and shoulders, step back, push press the weight overhead. Now I don't squat down until you're ready. Make sure you feel comfortable with the bar back in position. So always take your time on doing the overhead squat. Make sure you're ready. You feel comfortable and confident where the bar is. Squat down. And now sit here for a few seconds and look right, look left, look up, look down. This kind of helps you feel and understand what's happening, where your body is. Do it again. Down, sit, look right, look left, look down, look up, look all around, and stand up. This helps you to, that bottom position in the snatch. If you really develop and concentrate and have a comfortable, strong, secure bottom position in the snatch, you're going to save a lot of weights that may not be pulled perfectly. If you've got a good bottom position and you do your overhead squats, you're going to have confidence, you're going to have strong shoulders, you can feel it in your neck. I mean, you're just going to be real strong in this part of your body. That'll help you save a lot of snatches that may not be right on the spot. Okay, the next exercise, program 1, is the bench press. So I'm going to have to turn my camera a bit because I want to take each exercise in order so you know exactly what we're doing. So I'm going to take a brief pause while I reposition the camera. Okay, I'm set here for the bench press now, and I'm not going to use any weight, but just a standard bench press. I want to demonstrate the proper technique, proper grip, and explain a little bit why we even do the bench press. Why I'm an Olympic lifter, why do the bench press? Well, the bench press is an excellent way to strengthen your shoulders, your triceps, your chest muscles. These are all important in weightlifting, all important in the overhead lifts. And so that's, after we've done all this stuff, squats and pulls, your back's tired. So you can work your triceps, your deltoids, and your chest. Chest muscles are important to be strong. People can pull a pec pulling on weight. So, they think, well, I don't need my pecs, I'm a weightlifter. No, but it's very good to have a complete, strong upper body. So I believe that the bench press is an excellent exercise for strengthening triceps, deltoids, and the chest and the overall upper body. And I believe that you use a kind of a wide grip, maybe not quite the snatch width, but wider than shoulder width. You can go, it's up to you. If you want to work your triceps more, you do a closer grip. If you want to work your shoulders, triceps, and chest more, a little wider grip. And let me just demonstrate two things. Here's the way, the standard way to do a bench press. A wider, somewhat wide grip, feet flat on the floor. And again, good solid racks. Bring the bar down to your chest and push up. And it goes kind of from your high point of your chest back over your shoulders. Chest, back over your shoulders. Chest, back over your shoulders. Chest, back over your shoulders. Now if you want to work your triceps more, then you can go the clean grip. The clean grip is okay. I like a little wider grip though, but the clean grip is very good for really strengthening shoulders and triceps. So, clean grip. Maybe the angle's not quite right here to see, but a clean grip. Okay, now, that's the technique with the feet flat on the floor, butt on the bench, upper back on the bench, and head on the bench. So there's a little bit of an arch in this area here. Okay, so that may tire your back. You had a hard workout. So this is what I recommend for most Olympic lifters. Is the feet on the bench, because that way that takes all the pressure off the low back, you can rest, and you can really work on some strong triceps, shoulders, and chest. And like I say, I like a little wider grip, not quite the bench press grip that a bodybuilder or a powerlifter would use, but a little wider than the clean grip. And so feet on the bench, butt on the bench, chest up, head on the bench, bar comes off, down to the high point of the chest, back over the shoulders. High point of the chest, back over the shoulders. High point, boom. And you've got to watch the bar at all times. Okay, so that concludes program 1. 12 workouts, and take your time. I've got, start with light weights, work up gradually, don't be too hungry. Don't think this is a crash course. You know why they call some courses crash courses is because you get on them, you train like hell, and you crash. So Don't do that. Just be patient, persistent, and take your time and be deliberate with all your movements, and you'll get there. Now, in a moment, program 2. Okay, ready for program 2. Now, program 2 is 2 workouts, an A and a B workout. And you'll do A on Monday, B on Wednesday, A on Friday, and then the following Monday, B is on Monday, A is on Wednesday, and B is on Friday. So in every 2 weeks, each program gets done twice. But this is because we want to start doing more exercise, introducing more things, and we're breaking the program up a little bit. So you've now hopefully mastered the hang power snatch. So now we're going to do power snatch from the floor. You know about where to get the grip? The bar is right against the shins or just a fraction of a hair away from it. Back flat, arms straight, chest out, looking straight ahead. Okay, so the bar is pulled close to the body, and we're in the start position. Catch, stand. Get set for each rep. Now, important things here are to keep the arms straight as long as you can, feet flat on the floor, and then when you're almost extended, boom, arms bend, body's extended, and then you come catch it in the quarter squat position. Bar back behind your ears. Bar must be kept close to your body, your legs, your body, close. Almost brushing. It's okay to brush the thighs. Don't bounce it off the thighs. A lot of people see other lifters hitting the thighs and they think, oh, they're bouncing. No, it's a brush. It's a brush. It's a brush. You don't want to tear your shins up. You don't want to be so close that you're taking the skin off your shins. You want to be just a little bit away. It's another reason why it's a good idea to wear sweatpants. You don't want to scar your body. It's not necessary. Okay, I'll demonstrate this again. You see it? It takes more work when you start pulling from the floor. And this is an interesting thing. I've trained hundreds of athletes from other sports in weightlifting to help them be more explosive and dynamic in their respective sport. And they all are absolutely amazed at the level of conditioning and heart and lung work that is involved. You're breathing heavy, your heart's pounding. I mean, this type of training is a very high carryover of cardiovascular. Okay, so I'm going to demonstrate the power snatch again. From the floor, squeeze, accelerate, explode. Squeeze, accelerate, explode. Squeeze, accelerate, explode, catch. Now it's important, okay, I'm going to say again, I don't want to move the feet. I don't want you to move the feet. I want you to catch it in a quarter squat and hold that for a second. Because eventually, when you feel comfortable in the quarter squat, it's going to be natural just to go into the full squat. So it's squeeze, accelerate, explode, catch in a quarter squat, hold for 1 second, stand up. Okay, now I'm going to do the power clean, so just loosen the wrists up a little bit. Power clean, shoulder width grip. Make sure you get set. Arms straight, back straight, chest out, looking straight ahead. Squeeze, catch. hips are behind. This is a natural tendency. People want to be like this. You know, just they're a beginner, you don't know. You've got to be like this. Same thing. This is preparing you for the clean, the squat clean. Again, you go up on your toes, but do not move the feet. Do not move the feet. Okay. Shoulder width grip, thumbs around the bar, back flat, chest out, arms straight, pull straight. Hold, stay. Hold, elbows in front, butt behind, stand. Get those elbows around, butt behind. Stand. Make each exercise deliberate. Don't rush. Take your time. Okay, next is the push jerk. I've already demonstrated the racks. I don't need to bring the racks over. Normally you work off racks, but I'm going to save that for later. So catch my breath. Next is the push jerk. Take it from racks, bar on your shoulders. You dip down, drive, as water goes above your eye level, you dip underneath it again. Dip, drive, dip. Dip, drive, dip. Now the push press, the military press is just, just arms and shoulders. Push press is legs, arms, and shoulders. The push jerk is legs, arms, legs. Legs, arms, legs. Legs, arms, legs. This motion that we do throughout Olympic lifting is something that is in all sports, whether it's baseball, you're swinging, everything's coming from here, or you're basketball, you're jumping, or volleyball, you're jumping, or if you're running, it all comes from here. This is such a basic position in our sport of weightlifting and in all dynamic, powerful, explosive sports. So you're going to, when you do the snatch, you do that. When you do the clean, you do that. Now you do the push jerk, which is that. Okay. Some people have confusion between the push press and the push jerk. Learn them individually, separately. Learn to be a good push presser, then a good push jerker. Then when we come to the split jerk, you'll be a better jerker. Okay, so imagine I took the weight off a rack. This is the start position. Dip, drive, dip. Stand. Dip, drive, dip. Stand. Now, when you catch weights in this clean, probably in the jerk, the push jerk, presses, always catch it. Let the legs absorb the shot. Okay. Dip, drive, dip. Dip, drive, dip. Dip, drive, dip. Now, another thing when I'm coaching beginners, I tell them there's 3 very important things you need to know when you're lifting weights. You got to be able to count. When we say 5 reps, we want 5 reps, not 7, not 3. When we say we want 80 kilos, we want 80 kilos. So you got to know the bar weighs 20. You get what the appropriate weights to put on. So you got to be able to add. You got to be able to count. You got to be able to add. You think, well, I can do that. And I say the third thing, you got to know which way's up. And they go, everybody knows which way's up. A lot of people, they go like this. When weightlifting, this is up. Back over your ears is up. Not over your nose, not back over your butt. Directly over your ears, that's up. And the push jerk, push press, jerks, a lot of people have a tendency to push the weight out front. It's up, but it's up out front. You can't hold it. It's got to be back over your ears. You want the weight directly over your ears, over your shoulders, over your hips, over your ankles. You want to be a straight line. If the bar's out here, it's going to fall back down. Of course, if it's back, it's going to go beyond as well. So in the press, push jerk, the split jerk, bars right over the ears. In the the snatch, it's going to be a little wider because of the nature of the lift. It's a little different. So the bar will be a little bit further behind them. Okay, push jerk again. A lot of people have problems with the push jerk or the push press. And they get mixed up. Once I teach someone to push press, then the push jerk comes very easy. But if I teach the push jerk first, then they can't do the push press. The push press is a very good exercise. These exercises are preparing you and building you up for the jerk, and they're developing strong overhead strength, which is, I see a lot of lifters, clean, jerk, and then they get up the wobbles because they haven't done enough overhead work. Okay, let me demonstrate the push jerk again. Shoulder width grip. Now, pretend I do it off the rack. So I want you to take the weights off the rack as much as possible. Save your back. Okay. Dip, drive, dip. That was a little forward. Dip, drive, dip. There we go. And then remember to catch it and a rebound. Dip, drive, dip. Stand up. And then catch it with the cushion of the legs. Okay, now again. Dip, drive, dip, hold. Stand, hold, reach up. Okay. That's the push jerk. Okay, now we have, I passed up the clean deadlift and shrug because we've done that. You know how to do that for program 1. The front squat you know how to do for program 1. The overhead squat you know how to do for program 1. The incline press I will demonstrate after I do the workout B portion of program 2. Okay, we've got hang squat snatch coming up, hang squat clean, snatch, deadlift and shrug, and jerk. 4 new movements for you. Okay, hang, squat, snatch. Snatch grip, take the bar from the floor. When I teach the hang, I like the person to kind of stand up here and go back down to the hang position. Okay. Now we're moving the feet out this way. Okay, hang position. That's it. Hang position. One more. Okay, now the feet can move out. In the squat snatch and the squat clean, the feet now can move out. And you can see that I'm lifting in regular cross-trainer type shoes. My balance isn't the way I'd like it to be. That would be normal for beginners as well. Also, I didn't warm up thoroughly up until showing this, all these exercises. I didn't warm myself up for that, but the next set will be better. Hang, squat, snatch. Snatch grip. Bar comes from the floor, all the way to the stand-up position. That way you get set. And you go down to the hang position, in the middle of the thighs. There, you see the feet pop out, straight ahead. Reaching up. Chest out, back straight. Hang. There, right in the squat position. Sit there a second. Stand up. This may take a while to go all the way down to the bottom position, so a beginner might want to go just there. Or maybe power snatch it and then ride it down. That's okay. A lot of beginners, when we start teaching the hang, squat, snatch, they hang power and then squat down. That's okay. Another tendency is hang power, stand up, and then squat down. Now that's, break them with that right away. But it's okay to do a hang power snatch and then go down into an overhead squat. Another thing you can do is you try to catch each one lower. First rep, second rep, And then the third rep all the way down. Okay, now hang, power clean. Excuse me. Hang squat clean. Bring the bar up. Put it down to start position. Get those elbows around fast. Pop out. Now it would be okay for a beginner to power clean it and then go down. Power clean it and ride down. But eventually, you want all the way down. Now the key here is getting those elbows around fast. You gotta get those elbows around fast. No way you can do it without getting those elbows around fast. Elbows around slow, back's gonna be rounded, bar's gonna fall off. And it's not uncommon to jam. If your elbow hits on your thigh like this, you can jam the wrist. It's gonna hurt like the dickens, and it's gonna knock you out of commission for 1 to 3 months. A severely sprained wrist due to jamming it on your elbow because you didn't get your elbows around fast enough. Get those elbows around. Get those elbows around. Okay. Let me do this. Let me do 3 reps here. Hang, squat, clean. Rep. Even though I'm going from the hang, I take the bar off the floor correctly. Bring it up to here. And go down. Stop. Make sure the person does it from the stop. Elbows around fast. And then stand up. Feet pop out a little bit. Okay. Stop. Okay. Hang, squat, snatch, hang, squat, clean. Be patient. Don't worry about it if you fall on your butt. It's okay. Which brings up another point. If you're going to miss a weight, or if you're missing a weight, get out of the way. If the weight's kind of knocking you, but don't fight it. Let it go in front, and you go this way. Or if you're doing a jerk, and the weight's going to do it, let it go behind you. Now don't get in the habit of throwing weights. Don't bail out on every attempt because it's not just right. But if you're in a problem, down here, just let it go in front. You got to snatch, and it's kind of, get out of the way. Don't stay underneath the bar. Let the bar go in front or in back, but you go the opposite direction. And stay with the bar. Don't, slam it down in disgust and let it roll off and bang into maybe another person or a piece of equipment. Treat your equipment with absolute respect and almost reverence, if you will, because this is your sport. It's an activity that's the greatest strength and power training sport in the world, bar none. And so you want to treat it with respect. You're learning a tremendously athletic sport. Treat your equipment well. Otherwise, next thing you know, you got broken plates and bent bars, platforms all chewed up, and then you're opening yourself up for injury. Also, depending on what kind of gym you're training at, the gym owner might say, hey, you're out of here. No more lifting, bring in more Stairmasters. So be kind and respectful of your equipment. It's okay to drop them and so forth, but control the descent and never throw weights. And if you miss one, never just let it roll off into wherever it may go. Stay on that bar. Okay, now the snatch, deadlift, and shrug. Snatch, grip. This reminded me of something else. Always make sure your plates are snug and on the bar. It's not necessary that you use collars unless the weights are sliding all the time. But always make sure, check that your plates are snug on the bar. They're right up there. Otherwise you get them scattered out and out of balance, and that's not a good idea. Snatch, grip, wide grip, chest out, arms straight, looking straight ahead, Deadlift and shrug. Squeeze. Up. Squeeze. Up on the shoulders, shrug. Under control. Slow motion. You want to get the idea of that transition. Squeeze, slow motion, maintain your positions, get the feel. This helps your balance. When you're doing your pull, it's ideal that you look straight ahead at all times. Don't want to be looking down, don't want to be looking up. If you're looking straight ahead, you get kind of a whole picture of your surroundings, and that helps you with balance. Okay, again. Back flat, chest out, arms straight. Those arms straight all the time, shrug up on the toes. Squeeze, slow, 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 shrug, toes. Slow motion. Deliberate, arms straight. Common flaws, bending the arms too soon, rounding the back, pulling too fast. Squeeze, slow motion. Okay, now we have the jerk, the split jerk. And again, like I say, I would like you to do this off racks because I want you to learn how to work off racks. Your back is tired. I don't want you doing bad technique and for your jerks for the clean or anything like that. So pretend I've taken this off the racks. The jerk. You want to practice beforehand, before you touch the weight. You might even try to start with an empty bar, but even before you do that, your feet are directly underneath the hips. See, maybe you've done a clean and you stood up and your feet are wide, you got to bring your feet in. So if you've done a big clean and your feet are wide, now you got to bring them in. So this is your power position. Feet right underneath the hips, bars here. You're going to dip down, try, split, the weight goes over your head, and then you recover in small steps and bring the bar down. Again. Now which foot goes forward? Well, you have to experiment. Which foot feels more comfortable? So one will feel more comfortable than the other, and you may have to maybe take a couple of workouts to figure out which one you like best. But again, beginners, a lot of them do this. Just a little bitty split. They think they're splitting a lot, but they're not. It's really, this foot goes forward about 1 foot, this one goes back about 2 feet. So you got about 3 feet of a split, more or less. Depends on the size of the person. Basically, 1/3 forward, 2/3 backward. Then recover in little steps. You don't want to recover in big steps, because if you do recover in a big step, you might throw you out of position and you lose the weight. So recover in little steps, and I'll demonstrate with the bar. But the jerk, it takes a while. People will set the bar down too soon. But common flaw is they finally got the split down, and as they recover, they bring the bar down. You see? Now you recover, you got the good split. Recover front leg first, back leg, front leg. And you got to secure, then you bring it down. Okay, so pretend I'm taking this off a rack. And my feet are right underneath my hips, straight ahead. I dip, drive, split, hold, recover, little steps. Dip, drive, split, recover, little steps. So it's, you do a slow dip and then you really come out. It's like the split jerk and even the push jerk. It's a jump and a punch. Jump and punch. You're dipping, you're jumping and punch. jump and punch, jump and punch. Ram that thing up. It's got to be over your ears. I'll demonstrate a couple more. But it's dip, and then jump and punch, jump and punch. You can't do a jerk halfway or 3/4 of the way. The bar will come down real fast. Or it'll be like this, and then you just know what. And it's got to be jerked, boom, arms locked. Anything less is a press out and no good in competition. So it's got to be those arms locked. Let me demonstrate a couple more. Okay, cleaned it. Feet are underneath the hips, elbows are up, bars on the shoulders and the clavicles. Looking straight ahead. Lock, recover. Okay, bars back over the ears. Catch. Okay, clean it. Bars on my shoulders, elbows out front. Take a breath, hold. Little steps. Hold. Remember to hold that weight and recover in small steps. A big split. It's better to learn a big split and maybe shorten it if it's too much. But if you learn on a little split, then it's difficult. If it's too difficult to relearn that later on. But it can be done. But right from the beginning, big split, big split. Okay, I'm going to now demonstrate the incline press, so I've got to change my camera angle a little bit. And also on workout view, we got the front squat and the overhead squat. We're doing the front squat and the overhead squat so much because it's so critical to the squat snatch and the squat clean. We'll get into the back squat in program 3. But so if you think, well, a lot of front squat with overhead squat. Yeah, the overhead squat. So like I say, it's so good for the shoulders, so good for your bottom snatch position, and also it's a light squat workout, so it's adding some light squats to your training. Okay, now I will set up for the incline press. Okay, there's the incline barbell press is also very good for the shoulders and the triceps, and it's a little variation of the bench press, but it's more upright, which also has its benefits of doing an exercise more upright for the carryover to the overhead work. But still, you get to do it. There's 2 techniques I'm going to show you. You get to do it on an incline, so again, you're saving your back. Okay, so this is the incline barbell press. We're going to start with the bar on your chest. Bar starts on your chest and goes straight up. Chest, straight up. Chest, straight up. Chest, straight up. On the incline barbell press, we use the clean and the jerk grip. Okay, I've got one more type of incline, and the angle should be about 45 degrees, a little more or less depending on the equipment, but this is where you take the bar off a rack, starting at the top. Main grip, chest, arms length, straight up. Remember, straight up. Now it depends on which type of incline barbell press apparatus you have, which one you can use, I guess. Or when you experiment with starting from the chest or starting from arm's length like the bench press, you'll find out which one you prefer. My recommendation is where you start with the bar at the top, just like doing the bench press. You take it off a rack, bring it down, and work it, then put it back on the rack. Clean grip, because again, we're getting more upright So you want to, make it more shoulders and triceps. So that's program 2, and hopefully 12 workouts. You got 6 workouts on workout A, 6 workouts on workout B, and then it's on to program 3 and more advanced training. We get into wearing shoes and hook gripping, and but we're not going to use straps yet. Okay, on to program 3. Okay, we're on program 3 now. This is also 12 training sessions, 3 training sessions per week. I've got my book here to refer to because I made some notes in here, and I want to try not to leave out anything. I may make a few mistakes and leave some points out along the way, but I'm going to try to minimize that. On program 3 is where I want to introduce the hook grip. The hook grip is a method for grabbing the bar that gives you a very secure grip. Normally, when you grab a bar, you grab it with your fingers and then your thumb over the top of your fingers. In the hook grip, you wrap your thumb around the bar as tightly as possible and grab the thumb with as many fingers as you can. And this gives you a very, very secure grip, so when you're at the top of the pole, the grip won't loosen up on you. So the hook grip is used by all weightlifters. This gives you 5, 10, 20 kilos in some cases. So use the hook grip. It's going to hurt for a while, but you'll adjust to it. You'll get better, and you'll be fine. But it'll take maybe a week or 2, and that's why I figured you had enough things to learn initially, and I didn't want to give you any more aches or pains. But now those other aches and pains, the wrists and the elbows and the shoulders, should be gone. So now it's time for the hook grip, because that's going to hurt for a little while. So remember, the hook grip, you push down as hard as you can on the bar, wrap the thumb around as far as you can, then you try to grab it with at least the middle finger. I know some of you, if you have short hands and you only grab it with one finger, that's still better than nothing. So grab it with as many fingers as you can, the hook grip. Okay, also, I'm wearing lifting shoes. These are special shoes that are designed for weightlifting and have been tried and tested for many, many years now. They got a wooden sole, got a strap goes across to secure the foot in the shoe. It's a very high quality shoe for stability and balance. So because it's very important to be secure on the floor. If you wear cross training type shoes, they're soft, they'll wobble, and with a heavy weight, that could mean failure. So the weightlifting shoe, Adidas is the one that I highly recommend. Unless I'm wearing Adidas gear, I really believe in the Adidas line of equipment for weightlifting. But the Adidas shoe is, in my mind, the absolute best lifting shoe in the world. And I know that other companies make lifting shoes, but they also copy the Adidas design. And you can get Adidas lifting shoes through the United States Weightlifting Federation, now called the USA Weightlifting. Okay. Also, we haven't been using chalk. Now, remember what chalk is: magnesium carbonate. And gymnasts used it, weightlifters use it, anybody that grabs an implement. I don't know, I think even shop putters may use it in distance throwers, but I'm not sure. It's just what it is. It's like a chalk material that you put on your hands, because as your hands are perspiring, you're working hard, and other people are training with you at the same time, the bar gets all sweaty and you lose your grip. So it keeps your hands dry and helps you have a secure grip. So when you apply chalk and then your hook grip, it really gives you a secure grip, and you shouldn't lose the weight. The reason we didn't teach the hook grip and using chalk in the first 2 programs was because I want you to develop your grip. And if you have weak grip, weak power, then you'll have to do some exercises for that. Also, on program 3, I want to explain, because we're now going to start mixing exercises. The first new exercise is the power and squat snatch. And so, for example, 2 sets of 5, that means 3 power snatches, 2 squat snatches. 1 set of 3 means 2 power snatches, 1 squat snatch. 1 set of 2 means 1 power snatch, 1 squat snatch. And then I got 3 by 2. That first 3, the first number is the number of sets. So we're doing 3 sets of 2. And that would be 1 power snatch, 1 squat snatch. Now let me demonstrate this, because you know what the power snatch is and you know what the squat snatch is. Now we're combining them because I found this to be a very effective method for improving technique and conditioning, and for a weightlifter to really get control of the bar. Pardon, I just got this broom handle in my way. Don't want any distractions. Okay, and then this is power snatch and squat snatch from the floor. 5 reps. The first 3 are power. Now squat. You'll notice in the power snatch, I don't jump the feet out, and I don't recommend you do either. But in the squat snatch, the feet have to drop out a little bit. Now also, if you noticed on that set, I didn't hook grip. I forgot. But it's a very lightweight, and once you accomplish the hook grip, I recommend when you do your very light warm-ups that you don't do the hook grip, you save it for 70–80% lifts. Saves your thumbs, also helps you strengthen your grip. So I'm going to do 2 power snatches and 1 squat snatch. This is the power and squat snatch exercise. Power. Power. Squat. So remember, when there's 5 reps, that's 3 power and 2 squat. When there's 2 reps, that's 2 power, 1 power. When there's 3 reps, that's 2 power and 1 squat. When there's 2 reps, 1 power, 1 squat. Okay, so that's power and squat snatch. Next we have the snatch high pull. Now eventually you'll be using straps, but like I said, I don't want to introduce straps at this time. So the snatch high pull, we've done the snatch deadlift, and throughout this whole training program, the snatch deadlift will be done slow motion, but the snatch high pull will be done at full speed. Hook grip. Now this is the way I teach it for beginners. There's many different ways of doing a high pull, and I don't want to confuse you, but this is the way that I teach it, and I believe for the beginner. And what it is you're doing everything but snatching. You're pulling up on your toes, shrugging your shoulders, and getting as high as you can. And then, the next thing you do with the snatch, you're snatching. But we're just doing snatch high pull. You can use more weight than you can snatch. So it helps strengthen the muscles, condition the body, and develop technique and coordination for snatching more weight. Okay, this was program 3, workout A. And we've got, after the snatch high pull, we have snatch deadlift and shrug, power clean, push jerk, front squat, and bench press. Okay, now workout B, which would be Wednesday, I'm using the premise Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Workout B begins with a jerk, all jerks, all split jerks, overhead squat, hang squat snatch, hang squat clean, all exercises you know. Now here's a new exercise called the Good Morning. It's a favorite for developing low back strength, because you'll find out this type of training in the hips and the low back come into such prominent place. It's so important to have a strong low back. Normally you do the Good Morning, you take the weight off the racks, but I'm going to set the rack up for a little while. I don't need to right now. So power clean it, press it, put it on my shoulders behind my head, feet are hip to shoulder width apart. The barbell is resting on my traps. And then you tilt the head back so the bar won't be rolling around on you. So you tilt the head back, bend the knee slightly, you bend over, and back up. Over, back up. The back stays straight and arched. Hips are flexed, the knees are slightly bent, head up. That's the good morning exercise. Some people find this exercise very hard on the low back, especially with all the work that you're doing. So go very light and build up. You see, I have 3 sets of 8 repetitions here, so it's meant as an exercise to develop the muscle in that area. Okay, so then you finish off workout B with bench press and incline press. Okay, now workout C. It'll be Friday, and this starts with power and squat clean. Now you can see 2 sets of 5, so that's going to be 3 power cleans, 2 squat cleans for 2 sets. Then 1 set of 3, 2 power cleans, 1 squat clean. 1 set of 2, it's 1 power clean, 1 squat clean. Then 3 sets of 2 reps, 1 and 1 power, 1 squat. Let me just demonstrate. I'm going to hook grip for this. I forgot the last few times. Push down, grab the thumb, power, 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 squat, squat. Usually the thumb will come out when you turn over in the power clean. Sometimes in the power and the snatch as well. So when you clean and snatch, the thumb may come undone. That's not a problem. The main thing, as long as that hook grip stays in while you're pulling through here. Okay, I'll demonstrate again. 2 powers, 1 squat. Get my clean grip. Push down on the bar, wrap my fingers around my thumb, power clean, power clean, squat. Again, you'll notice in the power movement, the feet don't move out, but in the squat, the feet do. Now I'll demonstrate one more time. These combination exercises where you mix a power clean with a squat clean or a lift from the floor or then from the hang, they're very, very good for developing your coordination, your control and conditioning. Okay, one final set. Wrap the thumb around the bar, grab it with my fingers. Power, squat, okay. Next we have the clean high pull. Very similar to the snatch, except clean, close grip, but we're going to pull it as high as we can. And it's done fast. Remember, always do your clean deadlifts and your snatch deadlifts slow motion. That's the purpose. That's what we want. I want you to develop position, strength. But when you're doing the high pull, and I don't want you using straps. I want to develop the grip. I want you to develop your hook grip. So you hook grip it and you pull it up to about your rib cage. So the snatch high pull can be pulled up to the chest, the clean high pull to about the rib cage. But you want to get up on your toes and get that bar body straight, looking ahead, right up to this point here. Because the pull is maybe four phases. You squeeze it off the floor, you accelerate at the knees, you explode the bars at the top of the thighs, and then you pull some more. But it's got to be done real fast. And so this is what the snatch high pull and the clean high pull will develop. I'll do one more set here. Okay, I'm around bar hook gripping. When you get into doing real heavy high pulls, you won't be able to pull it up from the rib cage. Maybe just above the belt buckle or the belly button. And in the snatch, maybe just the rib cage. But you want to use more weight than you can clean. You really want to work that explosion from the top of the thighs to the top. Okay, next, clean deadlift and shrug, which you know, power snatch, which you know, and push press, which you know. Okay, we've got back squats. I'll set the racks up to show this. Incline, that's followed by incline press, which you know. So, I'm going to set the rack ups momentarily. Okay, we've got the back squat now. And the reason I spent the first 2 months on the front squat and not the back squat is I wanted you to learn to loosen up the wrists and the elbows, to learn to get those elbows up, to learn to squat straight up and down. Now we're going to do the back squat. And remember, whenever we do any weight off the racks, we want the bar at a height where it's easy to take it off the rack and put it back on the rack, and also so that you won't miss it. You don't want to miss the rack. You don't want the rack so low that you go over. You don't want the rack so high that you got to go up on your toes to take it out of the racks, because then as you get tired with the heavy squats, you'll find that you won't be able to get it back in the rack. Okay, so we take about a clean grip in the back squat, not the wide grip unless you've got a tightness problem. If you just can't grab it in close and put it on your back, that's okay. But ideally you want to use just a slightly wider than clean grip. And then you can get underneath the bar in the racks with the bar high on your traps. Stand up, step back. Feet are hip to shoulder width. All the way down and all the way up. Looking straight ahead, chest out. You want to look straight ahead, while that chest out, squatting straight up and down. Now if you're still having problems with balance, it's okay to still be using the 2x4 or the 1x4. But see, that's why the lifting shoes are so good, because they do help the balance and all the squatting movements. But if you still have problems with the balance, use a 1x4 or a 2x4, because you want to be squatting straight up and down. Demonstrate a few more. And the breathing is on all these exercises is breathe normally and natural. The only time you want to hold your breath is when you're doing the actual lift. You can't be breathing when you're straining. You've got to hold that, then we've got to take a breath in between the reps. So this for a heavy weight, I take a breath, hold, step back, I'm breathing now, relax, hold my breath, let it out, take another breath, let it out right. Now you let it out when you're at the top. If you let it out halfway through the squat, you'll miss the squat. You'll let out all the tension in your body. Now it's easy to squat perfect technique with a very light weight. You'll find when you're really struggling with a heavy weight, you have the tendency to want to lean forward. You got to resist that. You got to resist it. But I'm going to just show you a couple of techniques that'll help you get through that sticking point. Okay, this for a heavy weight, and I'm coming up, I might have a tendency to want to put my butt back. I got to force my butt underneath and keep coming up, keep coming up. Don't let your hips get too far behind you, because then all pressure goes on your back, and your legs and butt combined are stronger than your back. So down, it's a heavy weight. I start to come forward. I gotta fight to bring the hips underneath, hips underneath, hips underneath, and then stand. Keep those hips underneath. Underneath you. That's the center of gravity. You don't want it behind you. You want it underneath you. You want everything in this plane, whether we're squatting or whether we're pulling or whether we're jerking. Everything is in this plane, right from our ankles, through our hips, through our shoulders, over our head. Now I'll show you one other little technique that Yoshinobu Miyake taught me, because he was, I don't know if he was the first one to use it back in the 60s when he was an Olympic and world champion, but it's a technique that comes naturally for some people, and it's where you bring the knees in and then out. And I always thought that meant that was a sign of weak legs. Well, it's a technique that some people use very effectively. So let me demonstrate this. Down here, as I come up, I bring the knees in, and then I push them out. Down, knees are in, and then out. This helps to keep the hips underneath. Down, I'm coming up, I bring the knees in, and a little farther, then I push the knees out and the hips through. And, you know, you'd be surprised, like I said, I used to think that was a sign of poor squatting technique or weak legs. But no, it's a technique for getting through that sticking point. And the back squat will be an exercise that if you're good at it, you'll lift some really, really big weights, because this is the exercise that carries over to the clean and jerk so much more than anything else. If you're not a good squatter, you won't be a good clean and jerker. If you're not a good squatter, you might be a good snatcher, but you won't be a good clean and jerker. So work the back squat. The back squat is the exercise that'll give you such tremendous carryover to your clean and jerk and your other lifts. And the reason I say other lifts, because if you get stronger, all your lifts go up, and this is the exercise that really makes you strong. Okay. Program 3 is completed. And remember, it's three separate workouts. And the reason I'm having 3 separate workouts is we're having different emphasis on each workout. You'll see the first workout is more a snatch workout, and then the second workout is more a jerk workout and technique on the lifts. And the Friday workout is a power. We do the cleans, specializing in the cleans and the pull and for the cleans, and then the back squat. Okay. Now in program 12, this is another A, B, and C type of training program, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, or Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, whichever you prefer. And now we're going to start doing some complete movements. And I'm just looking at this to see, before I may change my camera here. Yes, okay, let me get these squat racks out of the way. Well, the reason I've left this on is I wanted to demonstrate you want heavy-duty squat racks. Don't go cheap on any of your equipment, because you could injure yourself if the equipment gives out. So you want real solid squat racks, and a nice round base like this is good, because then you can wheel them out of your way for your next exercise. Okay, now you're ready for the complete snatch. You've done the parts, the pieces. And so now in program 4, workout A, it's the squat snatch, and that's just snatch S. We don't have to say hang, power, or anything. When we say S, that means snatch, squat snatch. So I'll show you what it looks like. I'm sure you know by now, you've probably seen videotapes of lifting, probably even seen weightlifting. And the purpose of this particular videotape is to show how to do assistance exercises, because you can see from watching weightlifting competition and videotapes of various world and Olympic championships, which, by the way, I also sell. It's a little commercial here. If you want videotapes of world and Olympic championships, both men and women, I do sell those. But still, I just want to demonstrate the complete snatch for you. And I'll hook grip for this. Thumbs around the bar, fingers around. I'll do triple so I don't get so out of breath. I'll do another set, but I just want to explain the program. We have the snatch high pull, snatch deadlift and shrug, power clean, push jerk, back squat, and bench press. A lot of work. That's why we're not interested in, we're going up for singles with fairly heavy weight, but you're doing a lot of work. Don't be so concerned about wasting, or the wrong term, using too much time on one lift. Do the sets and reps, go up to your designated weight, and move on. Don't spend too much time in any one exercise because you got a lot of volume in this program. Intensity will come later, fewer exercises, heavier weights. Okay, another set of 3, the snatch. I didn't hook that set, forgot. Okay, so that's the snatch, and in a moment I'll show you, having some technical difficulties with my equipment. Give me a moment here to readjust it. Okay, I think I've got my technical difficulties under control. Like I say, this is not going to be a highly professional technical tape, but I hope that the information and the knowledge that you will gain from this videotape, which is done in a clinic format, will be extremely valuable, because this is the information that I have gained over many, many, many years, and I've trained many, many, many weightlifters, male and female, with these techniques and these programs, and so I think there's a lot of valuable information that you will be getting from this videotape. Okay, now we're on workout B. We start with jerks, and then jerk support and recovery, which I'll show you in a moment. I want to go through all these exercises before I rearrange my setup here. Okay, now overhead squat, hang, power, and squat, snatch. Okay, here's where I'm combining 2 exercises: power, snatch, and the squat snatch, but from the hang. Okay. So with the hook grip, bar in the thighs, power snatch, power snatch, squat snatch. So it was just like on the last program, it was power and squat snatch from the floor. Now it's hang, power, and squat snatch from the hang position. Okay, now hang, power, and squat clean. Hook grip, power, power, squat. So again, the only difference from what we did it last month is we did it from the hang. You'll find as we go through the programs, we do a lot of combinations. Okay, then you have bench press and incline press, and as I said before, they're very good upper body strengthening exercises that don't fatigue the low back, so that's why I've included them. Okay, workout C, the Friday workout. New one is the clean. Now we're not doing the clean and jerk together yet. That's going to come later on. Each program will give you a little more of a complete weightlifting package. So this is the clean from the floor. All squat. Feet pop out. Just a little bit though. I'll do one more set. And then I've sold about 1,000 of these little manuals. Many of you have called and asked for me to explain some of the exercises and had some questions about training, and hopefully I've been able to answer them over the phone, and hopefully this videotape will answer them completely. But still feel free to call me if you have questions. Okay, so also you'll notice on this program 4, we're taking the snatch up for singles, we're taking the jerk up for singles on Wednesday, we're taking the clean up for singles on Friday. We still can't work, we don't know what you can lift yet, so this is kind of where to find out. But we're not so concerned with how much you can lift, but we're concerned with that you're lifting a fair amount of weight for 1 rep. So you're starting to bring the weightlifting together, all the technique, all the training, all the conditioning, trying to bring it in together for a one rep. But I'm going to do 3 more reps with the clean. Hook grip, back flat, chest out. Always remember that. Arms straight. Okay, I said something that says tight. It means you want your body to be taut, not flexing your muscle, like really tight so you can't move. Taut, so because you don't want to be loose, you don't want to be loosey-goosey. You're not dancing, you're lifting. Okay, now the front squat and jerk. That's going to be 5 front squats and 1 jerk. I'm not going to set the rack ups just because you know about the racks. But this exercise will be done off racks. So I'm going to do 5 front squats and then 1 jerk. Again, imagine there are racks here. Taking the bar off the racks. Squat 1. On the 5th one, bring the feet in and a jerk. And then back on my shoulders and back on the racks. I'll do another set, but I'll only do 3 reps. But whenever I have front squat and jerk, that's the number of reps you see is how many front squats you do, but you only do 1 jerk on the very last rep. So you'll see that throughout my course, and I didn't designate that, and that's something I'm correcting right now. So it's 5 front squats and 1 jerk, 4 front squats and 1 jerk, 3 front squats and 1 jerk, and then 2 front squats and 1 jerk for 3 sets. Remember, I go sets, then reps. Sets, then reps. Okay. One more demonstration. Okay. I've taken the bar off the racks, step back, and you want to step clear from the rack so you don't hit them. Do my squats. 1, 2, 3. Bring the feet in. Jerk. Bring it down. Back in the rack. That's another thing. Most people, they clean, the feet go out a little wider, so when you do the jerk, you got to bring the feet in a little bit. Front squat and jerk. Okay, I'm going to set up for the jerk, support, and recovery. Move my camera. So, time out. Okay, change the thing around here. This is a power rack, and you need a good power rack. Again, sturdy power rack to do your jerk support and recoveries. because you can handle more weight in this exercise than you can in your jerk. Okay, take your clean grip. Well, first off, I have the bar at the height of approximately my head. Depending on the individual, higher or lower, a couple inches one way or the other. But let's just go put it the bar at the height of your head. In a power rack, a sturdy power rack, so you won't be falling anywhere. So I get my clean grip. Now I get into my jerk split position, and then I slowly recover, bringing the feet together. Then bring it down. Jerk split, arms are locked. Recover slowly without touching the sides of the rack. So you want to have a power rack that's got 6 to 8 inches. Let's see, this one is, this one's about 10 inches. You want a power rack 6 to 10 inches apart. And this exercise helps you with your overhead strength, your position for the jerk, controlling the jerk on the recovery. So let me try this again. Split position. I'm secure. The bar's over my ears. And then I recover in little steps and hold the weight without touching the sides. Then bring it down. And you'll be surprised how initially this is really hard and awkward, but it's such a great exercise, assistance exercise for the jerk. It's like doing deadlifts and high pulls for the snatch and the clean. This is where you can overload for the jerk. And it strengthens the shoulders, the triceps, the back, and all of that. Now, another exercise on the rack that you'll be doing on another program, but when I'm set up here, I'll show you. And that's just the plain jerk, support, and recovery. So with the bar at the same height, you go into the squat position and stand up. Okay, squat position, and stand up. Now the key to the jerk support and recovery, and the key to the jerk support is that, again, the bar is right over your head. If it's out front, you won't make it. If it's out back, you won't make it. It's got to be directly over your ears, and that's a pretty good marking point for most people. I tell people, if it's over your nose, it's going to be out front, you're going to lose it. If it's over your ears, you'll probably make it. But then if you get it too far behind you, it's going to go behind you. So you've got to be just everything in this position, and then stand up. Same thing when you're in the split. It's in this position. It's got to be directly over the ears. And the ears got to be directly over the hips. And then when you finish up, the hips and the ears and the ankles are all in line. Okay, one more. This is jerk, support. Seems simple, but you'll find that you can handle a lot of weight once you get the technique. And the form, and the control, and the overhead strength. This will help you. To be more solid when you jerk weight overhead. A lot of champion lifters, they don't practice this lift, jerk big weights overhead and then lose them on the recovery, or because they're tired, they don't have this reserve of strength at the top position, they'll lose it at the top there. Okay, this concludes program 4, and take a little break and on to program 5. So, good luck on program 4. I'm back. I forgot to mention in program 4, that's where you can start using straps on your pull. I just checked my notes, and so these are the straps that you wrap around a bar, and it gives you a real secure grip. And I'm just going to use a broom handle, but you just wrap the straps around. And it takes a little while to get technique for straps. But this really gives you a secure grip. And you have to be careful about straps, because if you use them too much, you can become too dependent on them. So you can just, you don't have to worry about your grip. You don't hook grip when you use straps. You do all your movements, your pulls, your shrugs with straps. Later on, you'll even use the straps for your weightlifting, snatch and clean and jerks and so forth. But initially, I want to minimize the strap use because I want to strengthen the grip. And I don't want you to develop a dependency on the strap. we'll be using the straps more in the other programs. The straps are just a canvas material is good, leather material is good. Just and this is an adjustable pair where you can cut a little loop and it just goes through.